stop scrolling. Take a deep breath and stay with me, because what you're about to hear might sound like a story, but it's really a door into something Florence Scovel Shinn once called the invisible power that obeys the spoken word. Tonight, before your head touches the pillow, I want you to understand one truth that could quietly turn your world upside down. The universe listens most closely when you whisper. Not when you shout, not when you chase, but when your heart is still and your voice becomes a command dressed as a prayer. You see, most people drift off to sleep carrying the entire day like a backpack full of bricks. They replay conversations that went wrong, they think about unpaid bills, the messages they never answered, the opportunities they think they missed. Their body lies down, but their mind never does. They scroll, they sigh, and then they wonder why they wake up drained instead of renewed. But what if you could go to bed tonight with a clean mental sky? What if, instead of rehearsing everything that went wrong, you rehearsed everything that could go right? Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every word we speak plants a seed in the garden of our future. And most people don't even realize they're planting weeds. So tonight, we begin differently. Imagine this moment as a reset, a sacred pause where you stop being the victim of your thoughts and start becoming their author. The world outside your window may be noisy, the news may be chaotic, your to-do list might still be long, but none of that can enter the kingdom of your mind unless you grant it permission. This is your sanctuary now. I want you to picture something, a movie screen playing behind your eyes. On it, you see your life exactly as you wish it to unfold. Not someday, but soon. The version of you who's calm, magnetic, aligned, smiling before sleep because they trust the invisible process already in motion. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say that faith is acting like it's already done. So tonight, we act. Before we get to the steps, you need to understand why this small ritual carries enormous weight. Just before sleep, your brain enters a frequency called the theta state. It's the bridge between the conscious and subconscious, the moment when the gatekeeper steps aside. This is when affirmations, emotions, and commands slip straight into the soil of the mind. It's not magic. It's design. The same design that turns tiny seeds into forests, invisible words into events. Most people spend that moment feeding their subconscious with leftovers. Worry, guilt, anxiety. Then they wake up wondering why the universe keeps delivering the same old meals. But you're here now because something inside you already knows you were born with authority. Authority to speak, to command, to receive. You just forgot the language for a while. Florence called it the divine law of substitution. Replace the wrong idea with the right one and the entire picture changes. So let's begin reclaiming that law, right here, tonight. First, let the day go. Everything that happened, whether it made sense or not, is over. The conversation that bothered you, the disappointment you carried, the thing you didn't say, imagine all of it dissolving into a warm, golden mist. Feel your shoulders loosen, your jaw unclench, your breath slow down. Forgive the day. Forgive yourself. Whisper it softly. I release this. You're not escaping reality. You're cleansing it. Think of this as cleaning the chalkboard before you write a new equation. You wouldn't paint over dust and expect the color to shine through. You wouldn't plant flowers in a soil full of thorns. The mind works the same way. You clear first, then command. And now that the mental clutter is gone, even for a few seconds, you can feel something shift. It's subtle, like the air changes texture. Your heart knows this quiet moment is the real beginning. Because power doesn't come from forcing, it comes from aligning. Florence wrote that the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later, with astonishing accuracy. So why not send out beauty tonight? Why not program your boomerang to bring back blessings? This is where your voice becomes the key. Your words are not casual, they are codes. When you whisper with conviction, I am guided, I am supported, the universe delights in surprising me. You're not begging for mercy. You're issuing an order in the language creation understands. And the beauty is, you don't have to shout. The universe doesn't respond to volume. It responds to vibration. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've tried affirmations before. But this isn't about repeating words until your tongue is tired. It's about feeling them until your body believes. Every cell in you listens. Every heartbeat echoes what you allow to linger in your mind. If you go to bed thinking of lack, your heartbeat rehearses lack. But if you close your eyes thinking of peace, your body learns peace overnight. This is why the last few minutes before sleep matter more than hours of motivation. They are your meeting with the infinite. So tonight, don't just drift off. Design your descent into rest. Whisper your intention. Feel it ripple through your chest like warm sunlight spreading through water. The subconscious doesn't understand tomorrow. It only understands now. So speak as if it's already true. I am abundant. I am healthy. I am loved. I am ready. You don't have to justify it or earn it. You simply accept it. That's what Florence meant when she said, "No man is your enemy, no man is your friend, every man is your teacher." Every experience, even the painful ones, teaches you how to command with more precision. The night is your teacher now. So let it teach you the rhythm of trust, the power of silence, the art of surrender. Because when you finally stop wrestling with life, life stops wrestling with you. The moment you stop begging the universe to notice you and start speaking as if it already serves you, everything shifts. And if this sounds like a fantasy, just remember, everything that exists started as a thought once. The phone in your hand. The home you live in. Even the stars that burned billions of years ago began as divine ideas. You're made of that same creative force. All we're doing tonight is turning it back on. So as your eyelids grow heavy, remember this. Nothing is too small for the universe, and nothing is too big for belief. The same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies responds to your whisper with precision. It's never about the words themselves. It's about the faith behind them. Before this night ends, promise yourself one thing, that you'll never again fall asleep defeated. You may be tired, but you are never powerless. Florence Scovel Shinn's teachings weren't about escaping reality but rewriting it. So tonight, let the old story fade, and let a new one begin with a single sentence. Whisper it in your own voice, in your own way, but mean it with every atom of your being. I am ready to be surprised by good. Because once you do, the universe takes notes. When Florence Scovel Shinn spoke of the power of the spoken word, she wasn't being poetic. She was describing a law as exact as gravity. She said, "Your word is your wand, and tonight, that wand rests in your hand." Most people go to bed whispering confessions of defeat, not realizing they're giving instructions to creation itself. They fall asleep murmuring, "I'm exhausted. Nothing works for me. I don't know what to do." And the universe, obedient and neutral, simply answers, "As you wish." But you, tonight, you're rewriting that contract. You're turning your bed into a command center. Close your eyes and imagine this. The room around you softens. The air grows thicker with presence. You are not alone. You never were. The divine intelligence that Shinn called infinite spirit has been waiting for you to speak with authority, not fear. There's a difference between begging and declaring. Begging says, "I don't have." Declaring says, "It's already mine." You can feel that difference in your chest, can't you? One makes you small. The other expands you. That expansion is what aligns you with the current of life itself. So now, say this softly in your mind or out loud if you can. The universe knows exactly where my blessings are, and they are already moving toward me. Don't say it like a wish. Say it like a fact. Say it as if Florence herself was standing beside your bed, smiling that quiet knowing smile, nodding as you speak. She'd remind you that you don't need to chase anything that's divinely yours. You just need to stop blocking it with disbelief. Here's where the art begins. Feeling it. You see, when emotion and word unite, you ignite energy. It's not the phrase, "I am worthy," that creates change. It's the vibration behind it. Imagine you're telling a secret to the stars, something the universe already knows but has been waiting for you to admit. I am worthy of ease. I am worthy of joy. I am worthy of miracles that unfold naturally. And then, don't analyze it. Don't ask when or how. The how is not your department. That's the universe's job description. Florence often said, I do not limit God by seeing limitation in myself. She knew that doubt delays, but faith delivers. So breathe into that faith. You don't have to force it. Just let it grow naturally, like dawn rising behind your eyelids. If your mind tries to argue, if it whispers, but look at your bank account, look at your relationships, look at your past. Just smile. That's old programming. Those are echoes, not prophecies. You're not denying facts. You're rewriting the frequency. You're speaking from the end, from the outcome that already exists in the invisible. You are, right now, practicing the language of creation. Florence believed that words are invisible wires connecting you to outcomes. What you attach emotion to, you magnetize. So tonight, let every sentence you speak before bed be dipped in calm conviction. Don't rush. Don't plead. Just speak like someone who knows. Now, I want you to think of one area of your life that feels stuck. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's the quiet ache of purpose. Whatever it is, imagine holding it in your hands for one last time. Look at it gently and say, I release control. Infinite Spirit, rearrange this for my highest good. I trust you completely. Then breathe out as if you've just dropped a heavy stone into a river and watched it sink. That's step 1, release. Step 2, command. Step 3, believe. It's simple, but it's sacred. Florence Scovel Shinn lived by those 3 energies, and she never once wavered in her conviction that life responds to the quality of our inner dialogue. Now, let's take this deeper. Every night before you sleep, you have a window of 2 or 3 minutes where your mind is most receptive, between consciousness and dream. That's your laboratory. That's where miracles begin their sketches. If you fill those minutes with fear, fear paints your tomorrow. But if you fill them with certainty, creation gets to work immediately. So tonight, your assignment is not complicated. Before you fall asleep, repeat one line. Tomorrow, something wonderful is already prepared for me. Say it once. Feel it twice. Believe it thrice. Then let go. Don't hunt for results. Let the unseen arrange itself. You are a co-creator, not a controller. And here's the truth most people forget. Gratitude is the accelerator. When you speak your command with gratitude, as if it's already happened, you multiply its momentum. Gratitude is proof of faith in motion. So say thank you, not for what you hope for, but for what's already coming your way. That's how Florence lived. She thanked life before it delivered. Pause for a moment. Breathe in and imagine yourself tomorrow, opening your eyes with peace instead of worry. Imagine a text message you weren't expecting but needed. Imagine feeling lighter for no logical reason. These are the early signs, the universe rearranging itself to match your new script. And now, before we move forward, let me tell you something that Florence would insist I remind you of. You are never too old, too late, too far behind. The divine clock does not measure time like humans do. It measures alignment. The second you align, things accelerate. So don't measure progress by what you can see tonight. Measure it by what you can feel. That calmness you sense right now? That's evidence. Now, if you felt something stir while listening, don't just let it fade when this video ends. I want you to be part of this energy. Leave your affirmation in the comments. Yes, write it. Something small like, I am ready, or I release and receive. Why? Because writing is another form of speaking. It imprints the energy deeper. And as you read others' affirmations, you amplify them too. Florence Scovel Shinn believed that collective intention magnifies miracles. So let's test it together. And while you're here, subscribe, not because I said so, but because you want to walk this journey awake. This channel is your nightly dose of remembrance. No fluff, no empty motivation, just the raw truth that your words create worlds. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to turn your nights into sacred ground. Also, tell me below, What line from tonight's message hit you the hardest? Which part made your heart say, yes? I actually read them, because this isn't a monologue, it's a movement. You're part of a growing circle of people who are remembering their creative power, one word at a time. As Florence wrote nearly a century ago, life is a game of giving and receiving. So tonight, give your faith, and tomorrow, receive your miracle. When the world goes silent and only the hum of night remains, something extraordinary happens. The unseen begins to listen. Florence Scovel Shinn used to call this the hour of power in disguise. She said that while most people think the night is for rest, it's actually for creation. Sleep is not just an escape, it's a ceremony. Every night, your mind steps into a sacred workshop where blueprints are drawn and destinies are rearranged. The only question is, what materials are you sending into that workshop? If all you hand over are fragments of worry and regret, the craftsman of your subconscious has nothing new to build. But if you hand over words of command, images of peace, and the certainty that life is conspiring for your good, you give the universe something magnificent to work with. Florence often reminded her students that imagination is not fantasy. It's the preview of life's coming attractions. So tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine deliberately. Imagine like an artist painting the dawn. Think of your thoughts as paintbrushes. Each word you speak before sleep adds color to your tomorrow. You can paint dull shades of doubt or radiant tones of trust. You can paint struggle or serenity. And the beauty is, no one else can choose the palette but you. Florence Scovel Shinn lived her life proving this truth. She watched people change their entire realities by shifting the pictures in their minds before sleep. She saw those who were sick begin to recover, those who were lost find direction, those who were poor attract abundance, not because they begged, but because they began to speak and feel differently. So tonight, you're going to paint again, not with brushes, but with words. As your head sinks deeper into the pillow, whisper this gently. I am the artist of my tomorrow, and my imagination obeys my faith. Feel the sentence vibrate in your chest. Let it become real, not in theory, but in energy. You don't need to believe hard. You just need to believe softly, without resistance, like water believing in its flow. There's something sacred about small moments like this. You're not forcing life to change. You're opening the window for it to do so naturally. Florence once said that when we stop pushing, the door opens by itself. You see, the universe loves to surprise you, but it can only deliver to an address of peace. When you go to bed angry, anxious, or fearful, you've moved away from that address. But when you lie down and say, I trust you, infinite spirit, even though I don't yet see the how, you move right back home. And that's where miracles find you, not when you fight for them, but when you rest in them. So tonight, make peace with the unknown. Make peace with the silence. Don't beg for signs. Become the sign. The energy of faith has a scent, and the universe recognizes it instantly. Now, I want you to do something unusual. Smile, even if you don't feel like it. That smile sends a message through your nervous system. All is well. The subconscious reads that as truth. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, a happy heart is a magnet for miracles. So even if your mind tries to argue, your smile becomes a declaration. You might think, but I've done this before and nothing happened. But listen, every repetition refines the signal. Every word said with intention sharpens the vibration. The universe doesn't ignore you. It's simply aligning details behind the scenes. Sometimes the shift starts small, an unexpected kindness, a sudden calmness, a cancelled worry. Other times, it arrives like lightning. Either way, trust that it's working. So, as you drift towards sleep, let's rehearse the sequence one last time tonight. Step 1. Forgive the day, no matter what it brought. Step 2. Speak with command, not fear. Step 3. Feel it real, like it's already unfolding in your favor. Step 4. Surrender, fully. Then, sleep. That's it. You've just rewritten your frequency. And remember, every night you do this, you're not escaping life, you're designing it. Florence called this spiritual architecture. She said, you must build your word world before the outer world can reflect it. Think of that. Every word you speak tonight is a brick in the mansion of your reality. Build carefully. Build joyfully. Build with authority. Now, before I let you drift into that sacred quiet, I want to speak to that part of you that doubts whether this truly works. That logical part that says, it can't be that easy. And yet, isn't that exactly what faith is? The courage to believe that maybe it can? The courage to suspend disbelief long enough to see what happens if you trust instead of fear? Florence Scovel Shinn didn't preach hope without evidence. She lived her teachings. She saw impossible debts erased, relationships restored, and lost dreams resurrected. Not through effort, but through the spoken word backed by conviction. So why not you? Why not tonight? Why not give the universe a new command to fulfill? It doesn't cost you anything but old fear, and that's a bargain. Whisper it once more. I release resistance. I receive alignment. I rest in faith. Feel that. That's power without struggle. That's creation in motion. If this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Write your declaration below. Something simple, something true. Let the world see your intention so that the collective faith of this community can amplify it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, not as a transaction, but as a commitment. This space is where we gather to remember what Florence Scovel Shinn taught us. That your voice is not small, your words are not empty, and your life is not random. So take a second, breathe, and if this video touched your spirit, tell me how. Did you feel lighter? Did your chest soften? Did the noise in your head quiet just a little? Share it. This isn't just a channel. It's a sanctuary of people turning their nights into power. And as you prepare to close your eyes, remember, no matter how dark the night, your words are lamps. Every sentence you speak in love lights the way for tomorrow. There's a sound the universe responds to. Not noise, not pleading, but faith. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the divine vibration of certainty. And once you learn how to speak it, life rearranges itself to match your tone. Think about that for a second. Your words are instruments, your emotions are the melody, and your faith is the conductor. Every night before you sleep, you perform a silent symphony that either calls in harmony or dissonance. Tonight, you choose harmony. Now, I know how easy it is to doubt. You look at your reality, you look at what's missing, and your mind says, how can a few words before bed possibly change all of this? But Florence would smile and say, because your words are seeds, and every oak tree started invisible. The delay is not denial. It's incubation. The universe is never ignoring you. It's germinating what you've spoken. So when you say, things are working for me even when I can't see them, you're watering the soil instead of digging up the roots to check for progress. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that your words tonight are ripples on a quiet lake. You can't see where they go, but you can feel their rhythm. That's how energy works. When you speak with emotion, your words leave you but never vanish. They echo through the unseen until they return multiplied. Florence wrote that the game of life is played with your invisible thought and spoken word, and the score always reflects your tone. So speak softly but with certainty. Say this with me in your mind. I am surrounded by divine timing. Everything unfolds with perfect ease. You don't have to believe it perfectly. You just have to stop arguing against it. Every time you choose trust over tension, you realign your vibration with what's already yours. Now let's talk about something most people misunderstand. Emotion is not weakness. Emotion is fuel. The reason affirmations sometimes feel empty is because they're spoken without feeling. But the heart was designed to amplify words. When you add emotion, joy, gratitude, expectancy, you send your command through the loudspeaker of the universe. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say, feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it will be yours. That's not poetry. That's energetic law. So here's a practice you can use right now. Before you fall asleep, imagine one scene that would prove your prayer worked. Just one. Maybe it's seeing a message on your phone with good news. Maybe it's walking into a room and feeling completely confident. Maybe it's laughing again after a long time. Don't analyze it. Just picture it for a few seconds, smile as if it's already real, and then let it go. Don't chase it. Florence said that once you release it, Infinite Spirit takes it up and perfects it. Your only task is to trust the follow-up. If you ever catch yourself spiraling into worry, remember this. Worry is a rehearsal for what you don't want. Faith is rehearsal for what you do. So, choose which stage you want to perform on. The mind loves repetition. That's how it learns. But tonight, let's reprogram it with better scripts. When doubt appears, whisper softly, "Divine order is arranging everything for me." When fear rises, say, "The universe is my ally, not my enemy." And when loneliness creeps in, remind yourself, "I am never unseen, the infinite sees me." Now, here's something else Florence Scovel Shinn taught, and it's one of her most radical truths. Nothing stands between you and your good except your own mental resistance. Think about that. No circumstance, no person, no timeline, only belief. That means the doorway has always been unlocked. You've just been standing still, thinking it was closed. But tonight, we walk through it. You've already begun changing your frequency just by listening. Every word you've absorbed here is rewriting neural pathways, softening resistance, inviting ease. The universe doesn't require years of struggle. It just requires one moment of alignment. That moment could be this one. So as your eyes grow heavier, I want you to anchor one feeling above all: relief. The feeling of, I don't have to figure it all out. Because you don't. The divine intelligence that spins galaxies is quite capable of arranging your next opportunity, your next connection, your next miracle. But it needs your permission, and your peace is that permission. Florence said, when you know your word has power, you stop worrying and start commanding. So, command gently. Not from ego but from faith. Whisper something like, "Everything I need is finding me. The right people, the right timing, the right paths are aligning now." And mean it. You'll know you've spoken it right when your body sighs with relief. That's your signal that you've entered the vibration of belief. Now, if this message has reminded you of something you'd forgotten, your strength, your voice, your divine right to joy, then I invite you to do something brave. Share this energy. Send it to someone who needs to remember their power. Maybe a friend who's been feeling lost, or someone you know who can't sleep because their mind won't stop racing. Florence believed that when you share truth, you double its light. So let's create a chain of light together. And if you haven't joined our circle yet, subscribe now. Not because of algorithms or numbers, but because every night we gather here to realign with something bigger than ourselves. This channel isn't about perfect lives or quick fixes. It's about remembering ancient principles that still move mountains. Florence Scovel Shinn's teachings have crossed decades for a reason. They work. Tell me in the comments what you're releasing tonight. One sentence. One word even. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's control, maybe it's doubt. Let's witness each other's letting go. Because when you declare it publicly, you anchor it energetically. Someone else will read your words and release too. That's how collective healing happens. Not in temples, but in tiny acts of courage like this one. Before you drift into sleep, let your mind rest on this truth. The universe has already heard you. You don't need to repeat or prove anything. Just rest. Rest like someone who has already been answered. And when you wake up tomorrow, maybe the world won't look completely different yet. But something inside you will. You'll feel it. That quiet knowing that you've stopped rehearsing chaos and started conducting peace. And that's where true transformation begins. Because as Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith knows it has already received, and acts accordingly. As the night deepens, and your body drifts toward rest, there's one thing I want you to hold close. The universe never forgets a voice spoken in faith. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, every word you speak is a command that sets unseen forces in motion. And right now, those forces are already at work for you. The moment you shifted your tone from worry to wonder, From doubt to declaration, the current of your life began to change direction. You don't have to see it for it to be real. You just have to know it. There's a sacred rhythm to this. Creation doesn't rush. It unfolds. Flowers don't bloom because they push. They bloom because they trust the season. You are in that same season right now, the one Florence called divine preparation. The ground beneath you is being made ready for the harvest of the words you've spoken. So instead of asking when, start saying, thank you. Gratitude closes the gap between asking and receiving. It's the signature of faith that tells the universe, I'm already living in the answer. Take a deep breath. Let your chest rise and fall slowly. Imagine your breath carrying those thank yous into the invisible. Each exhale sends waves of trust into the unseen. The energy around you softens because gratitude doesn't fight. It flows. Florence believed that gratitude magnetizes, that it draws every good thing closer. So tonight, don't beg for blessings. Acknowledge them before they even arrive. Whisper, I am grateful that what I desire is already on its way. Now, I want you to imagine tomorrow morning. You open your eyes, and something feels different. The heaviness you used to carry is gone. You might not even realize when it left, but it's replaced by a quiet certainty, like the calm that comes after a storm passes. That's what happens when you sleep in alignment instead of anxiety. Your rest becomes a silent collaboration with creation. The universe begins to rearrange meetings, ideas, and moments to serve your command. You've become a magnet for what matches your peace. Remember, Florence Scovel Shinn didn't teach wishful thinking. She taught divine law, precise, dependable, unfailing. She said, the invisible forces are always working to bring your spoken word into form. That means tonight isn't the end of something. It's the ignition. You've planted words that will move mountains, soften hearts, and open doors. Some changes will appear quickly, a coincidence, a conversation, a sudden feeling of clarity. Others will take time, but that time is holy. It's the sculptor perfecting the details before unveiling the masterpiece. And while you wait, hold this vibration steady. Florence taught that the key is to act as though it were impossible to fail. That doesn't mean pretending. It means embodying the energy of completion. When you walk tomorrow, walk as someone who has already received. When you speak, speak as someone who already knows. When you smile, smile as someone whose miracle is just around the corner, because it is. Here's something you can repeat before every sleep. I trust infinite spirit to bring my good in perfect ways. I rest in divine timing. This line is powerful because it dissolves resistance. It tells your mind to release the timeline and let the universe do the engineering. Your only job is to stay in faith and joy. Now, think about this. Every person listening tonight is part of an invisible network. All of us connected by words, by vibration, by intention. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, there is no competition on the spiritual plane. What is yours cannot be taken from you. That means you don't have to struggle against others for your good. You rise together. Every time you share love, encouragement, or truth, you expand the circle of abundance. So if you're here, you're part of that expansion. That's why I ask you to stay engaged with this community. Not out of habit, but out of alignment. Subscribe, not for content, but for connection. Each video, each affirmation, each shared comment is a thread in the fabric of transformation. When you comment your truth, when you like and share these words, you're amplifying collective power. You're helping another soul somewhere remember that they're not powerless. Florence would have loved that, because she believed faith should be contagious. And as you rest tonight, let me leave you with one last vision. Picture yourself months from now, calmer, brighter, walking through the same world but living from a different frequency. People notice something in your eyes. You smile easily, your presence feels magnetic, and life seems to flow in your favor. You didn't force it. You aligned with it. You began speaking power instead of panic. You turned your nights into a meeting place between your spirit and the divine. That's the real secret. That's the legacy of Florence Scovel Shinn, That creation isn't somewhere out there. It begins in your voice, in your breath, in your belief. The universe doesn't speak English or Spanish or any earthly language. It speaks energy. And energy responds to certainty. So tonight, when you whisper your final words before sleep, make them sacred. Say something like, I am open to miracles. I am worthy of peace. I am safe, supported, and guided. Then, stop. Don't explain it. Don't repeat it endlessly. Just smile, close your eyes, and drift away knowing the order has been placed. You've spoken it. The universe has received it. And as your consciousness fades into that soft twilight between wakefulness and dream, remember what Florence Scovel Shinn wrote. Your word is your wand. Use it to build heaven on earth. You've done that tonight. You've planted heaven in your mind, and soon it will bloom in your life. When you wake, take a moment before reaching for your phone. Whisper one line of thanks. Something good is on its way to me today. Feel it, mean it, then step into your day as the co-creator you are always meant to be. Now, before you go, I want to invite you to share this experience. In the comments, tell us, what did you speak tonight? What seed did you plant? What did you feel shift inside you as you listened? Your story might be the exact message someone else needs to see to believe again. This isn't just a video, it's a community of awakening souls remembering their voice, their authority, their partnership with the divine. And if this message found its way to you, that's no accident. Florence Scovel Shinn would call it divine appointment, proof that the right words always find the right ears at the right time. So thank you for being here. Thank you for speaking light into your night. And thank you for trusting that your tomorrow is already being written by the words you've spoken tonight. Go to sleep now. Rest like a king, like a queen, like the creator you truly are. Let the universe surprise you with grace. Let it fulfill the command you've given. Because it always does. It always remembers your voice. Good night, and watch the magic unfold.